Welcome back YouTube, it is Uncle here, and today I'm going to do something a little bit different. I want to talk about a bigger book. This is Revival, the Deluxe Edition, number 4 from Image Comics. I really enjoy this book. When I first started reading comics, about maybe 6-7 years ago, I think they were on maybe issue 40, I think 44 or 45 was my first issue, so I was late to the party. But even though I was a new reader and very, very deep into a very complex story, I really enjoyed the writing and the world that was created. And so I went back and I bought the earlier books, and I just finished the whole series. I bought the first 6 volumes in trade paperback, and then I was able to find this Deluxe Edition collection that it collects issues number 36 through the finale, which is 47, all in one hardback high quality book. I actually too have issue 47. I got the I was able to find issue 47 with the it was kind of an homage cover to the first issue of Witchblade back in the 90s. And so, like I said, I have the issue close to the end and in the end. And then I went back and I read it volume by volume. And it has been one of my great joys in comic books. I spread it out over a while because I enjoyed it so much. But it got to a point where, like, this and the last 3 volumes, I just burned through because I could not put it down. And I started reading this yesterday. Like I said, this covers issues 36 through 47. I started this yesterday, fell asleep reading it, and finished it today. And my, oh my, it's great. So I'll give you an overview, but it is about this small town in Wisconsin where the dead suddenly are not staying dead. And they have to figure out why, how this happened, what does it mean, is it good, is it bad, is it natural, and, the fear and complications that come over this small town. And the thing that's so haunting about it is it starts off, even though it's a supernatural story, it starts off with a grounded reaction of the community and the escalation that's, it happens, it goes from a inconvenience or perplexity to something that is a national talking point, and, turns this idyllic small community into a police state and a murder mystery. The main characters are Dana Cypress and M. Cypress. They're sisters, and their father is the sheriff. Dana is a sheriff's deputy, and we find out in the first issue that the family, they are somewhat estranged, but M, the younger sister, ends up being murdered and is revived. They call them revivers. And so we have Dana trying to figure out what happened and discover who murdered her sister and why. And so we have that murder mystery, them trying to come to grips and keep their family together through this as well, and trying to keep her status as a reviver a secret because they're met with distrust and hostility in the community. And it is a very, very masterfully written book, a fun book. You can get the collected trade paperbacks fairly cheap in 8 different trade paperbacks. So that's, I got the first 6 in trade paperback, and I found this at a great price. Usually it's like $30 something, $35. I was able to get it for like 25, and I like, like I said, the high quality of the hardcover. It's going to be something you can go to again and again and again, and it feels like a more durable comic book, the same scale as a comic book. And then at the end, you get, little bonus stories that branch out from it. And then here is, they have somewhat of a cover gallery. Here's like the special edition. I told you about that one based on the Butchblade cover. Different sketches throughout different parts of development and the author's takes on writing it and what it was based on. And they left room too at the end for a sequel series. It doesn't need a sequel series. It was a great book, a brilliant book. I think that if they wanted to do a sequel series, they left the door open for it. It would make sense, and I would definitely buy it. But if they want to leave it where it is, it had a perfect ending, and I really, but I would not turn down reading it again, especially if Tim Silly is involved in that as well. So get it while you can. Image Comics Revival. It's an oldie but a goodie, and there are lots of books that I read, special trade paperbacks. I will pick them up, read a chapter, put it down for a day or so. But with these, like I said, I read this 2 sittings. So sleep on it last night, finish it up this morning, talking about it now. But if I can burn through nearly 50 issues of this in no time, I guarantee this is one that you will enjoy. So check it out at the local comic book store. If you don't have a local comic book store, check out. I've gotten my trade paperbacks through 2 sources, I believe: Thrift Books and JAF Comics. And you can also find them on MidtownComics.com. So I'll see you guys next time. Until then, keep reading them books. I'm going to. I'm out.